How is INFJ the rarest of all the Myers-Briggs types, yet everyone I find is INFJ? Does the 1 to 3% of the population estimate seem accurate to you? This one is a little bit difficult. I don't know that INFJs are the rarest. There are some people, some websites who say we're the rarest. Others say that we're one of the rarest. I've read that women who are INFJs are the rarest. I don't know specifically if we are the rarest. I think that the 1 to 3% of the population estimate, I think that seems very accurate to me. A lot of people want to be INFJs. INFJs are talked about and perceived as being, super rare, which everybody wants to be rare, right? Everybody wants to be super special. But I've also read that INFJs are also the most interested in personality types, in the Myers-Briggs type indicator test. So if all INFJs or most INFJs are interested in personality types and you find a lot of information about personality types online, then doesn't that make sense that there would be more INFJs who are talking about being INFJ? So that's one of my arguments. The other argument is that a lot of people want to be INFJ and not all of them are. And I mean, I think that that's true. I don't think that we should be attacking people about whether they're actually a real INFJ or not, because I think that that's up to each person to figure out for themselves. And, since I started my Instagram account, my blog, and my podcast, a lot of people criticize me about whether I'm an INFJ or not. People have said that I can't be an INFJ because I have a podcast. And to me, that's like a really crazy thing to say. First of all, like, they don't know me, so why would they judge me as to whether I'm an INFJ or not? They don't know my personality type. Just because I have a podcast doesn't mean that I'm not an INFJ. Some people who are INFJs like to hide from the world, and that's totally fine. Others of us, like me, I like to push myself to do things that are out of my comfort zone. I feel like that helps me to grow and to be a better person and to learn more things. So saying that just because, you have a podcast or YouTube channel that you're not an INFJ, I don't think that that's the right thing to do. There's another trend that I've noticed over the last couple of years, which brings us to the next question. If we go by letters, I'm an INFJ, but by cognitive functions, I'm an INFP. So what am I? So just in case you don't know what cognitive functions are, cognitive functions come from the work of Carl Jung. He believed in cognitive functions and he defined them. So then came along Isabel Myers and Catherine Briggs, and they set up the Myers-Briggs type indicator personality test. The Myers-Briggs test uses what are called preferences to type people. Okay, so the letters INFJ, those are preferences. Some people talk about cognitive functions because they have been sorted out to where you can connect a preference to a function. There's a trend going around that people are typing themselves based on cognitive functions rather than by preferences. So when you do that, it's very, very easy to get confused as to what type that you are. So, being an INFJ versus being an ENFP, those are pretty big differences, right? I type people based on preferences because that's how the Myers-Briggs test types people, based on preferences, not based on functions. You can type people based on functions. You can type yourself based on functions as well if you want to. That's completely up to you. But when I help people figure out what type they are, I use preferences. And, that's the way that the Myers-Briggs test types people. So that's the way that I prefer to do it. I feel like you get the most accurate answer by typing yourself and other people by preferences rather than functions. I think that that's why a lot of people are confused about what their types are. That's why there's a lot of people who think that they're INFJs and they're not really INFJs. It's a lot more straightforward when you're typing people by preferences rather than by functions. Learn more about your INFJ personality on my podcast, The Quiet Ones. The Quiet Ones is a weekly show where we dive into understanding self-love, depression, anxiety, and so much more from an INFJ perspective. I offer up in-depth coaching and unmatched empathy. Join me for an amazing personal growth experience. The Quiet Ones podcast is available on all major podcast platforms and at thequietonespodcast.com. Hi there! I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm working very hard to produce content that will help you, and I really, really appreciate your support. Also, if you want some more inspiration, check out this video right here.